Hello, Hotties.
I'm Positive Noodles.
And I'm xFlowmingo.
Welcome to Hot X Nudes.
If you're new here, this is where we drop some hot takes on gaming news, Reddit stories, and our weekly FMKs.
Yeah. Episode 2,
Yeah.
baby.
I know. Episode 2. Sheesh.
Still trying to
Sheesh.
sheesh. Still trying to figure out what we're doing.
Yes.
I mean, um yeah, it's new. Thank you everybody for their
Yeah,
positive
it was.
feedback.
Yeah, you guys were so nice about episode 1. I'm so happy you loved
I
it.
know I
We
had
loved it too.
people personally DMing me, people
Mm-hmm.
sliding into my DMs.
Ooh.
Which hasn't happened since I got married, which rude. No, just kidding.
Sheesh.
Thank you everybody for who said such kind words, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.
Me
We're
too.
excited to continue this journey, and always know, at least on my side, that you can tell us whatever you think doesn't work, and we'll definitely take it
Yes.
into
Me too.
consideration.
Absolutely.
Into consideration, because if I like it and you don't, sucks suck. Just kidding. That's a hot take. Just kidding.
Hot take.
Hot take. So yeah, so we're here to talk about some things. Anything new in your streaming world, Flo, before we get started on some hot takes? Everything
In
has,
my streaming world,
yeah,
not
like,
really.
what are you playing? Well, I guess we'll get into that in playing,
Um,
watching, reading.
yeah, we could get into it then.
What are you
That
playing
might
this
be a good
week on
idea.
stream, though?
I literally have all my streams, all my single streams as to be determined because I have no idea and I'm indecisive. However, we have a co-stream this
Yes,
week,
we
Wednesday,
do.
8 p.m., and we're playing. Do I tell them what we're playing? Or are we keeping
Yeah,
it a
I
surprise?
put it I put it as what
Oh,
we're
okay,
playing.
Portal 2. We're playing
Yes,
Portal 2. I'm
I'm
so
ex-
excited.
I am so
I think it'll
excited.
be so fun for us.
Yeah, it definitely will. I played it before with a couple, like I played it with my
Yeah, I've played
sister.
some with Keith.
Yeah.
So, but it'll be fun, like, because of the way our dynamic is, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm also excited to see who gets which robot
That's
because
true.
I love a certain robot. Um,
Okay.
but we'll
You don't get
see
to
who that
pick? I don't
is.
remember.
I don't think you get to pick. I might be wrong.
Okay.
I haven't played in so long, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into some gaming hot takes pretty quick. I just also want to say I am streaming Mondays and Wednesdays as usual, our co-stream, and we'll go over all this again at the end. But our co-stream is Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have all this stuff posted in our Discord, our own personal streaming Discord, all over the social media, stuff like that. So, tabletop RPGs like D&D are gaming as well. So,
Absolutely.
one of the things that kind of has been going on in the last week or two, maybe more, is the D&D open gaming license. Now, I am not going to do this justice to the point of going and talking about every little aspect and the different changes throughout the days, but we're going to kind of do a summary, how I feel about it. Kind of want to hear Flo's perspective as an outsider. And then
Sure.
kind of the update that happened and where we are now. So, for D&D, that game was created by Wizards of the Coast. So, Wizards of the Coast created D&D. They have so many editions and stuff like that, and they had an open gaming license where you could create content, you could create campaigns, like artwork, all these different things from D&D using their like basis and sell it as a third party, and you had no issues. You didn't, like, you were all good. You could just sell it as a third party. People who make D&D dice, again, there's still kind of a not quite sure like where that is with the D&D dice, because they could call it a D20, everything like that. But there was basically, if you sold stuff related to D&D, you were good. Now they proposed this new open gaming license where you would have to submit it to Wizards of the Coast, and then they got to do whatever they wanted with it. So if
Okay.
you wanted to sell a campaign, if you built a whole campaign with the D&D E5 or whatever edition, kind of rules and monsters and everything, you would have to submit it to Wizards of the Coast, and they got to own it in a sense. And I think they would get certain profits. And again, a couple different, I'll put in the show notes, a couple different creators on TikTok and YouTube who go into depth about this. So a lot of people were pissed because there is a lot of people making money off of their D&D campaigns, art, just a bunch of different things. Now, a lot of people are like, what about Critical Role? I don't know if, Flo, you've heard of Critical Role. It's a very big tabletop RPG group. It has Matt Mercer in it, who voices Cassidy. Okay.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
They're a huge D&D group, and I will just say, like, gaming, adventure in general. They worked with Wizards of the Coast, so they wouldn't be affected, and technically people who stream their games would not be affected if it was free to access. So if you posted streaming your game, any content creators that stream their game on YouTube, Twitch, anything like that, if it was able to be accessed for free, you wouldn't have to, like, submit it to them. And you could still make money from, like, YouTube or TikTok or whatever, the way that you would make money, and it wouldn't go to Wizards of the Coast. But there was a lot of murkiness, and the community was pissed. So that was a big issue. And I think 2 days ago, maybe earlier, but at least from what my knowledge, 2 days ago, Wizards of the Coast said, oh, no. We take it back. Now, alleged, again, I will link people who go more in depth, but there was some emails linked that being like, just don't respond to it. Wizards of the Coast are now owned by Hasbro, and they have a subscription service called D&D Beyond, which gives you resources to D&D stuff and whatever, and I personally use with our campaigns, and people were canceling their subscription. And so they were losing a lot of money, and the community was like, fuck you. And there was a lot of great memes out of it. And so Wizards of the Coast put something out and said, no. Don't worry. You guys aren't going to be affected. I'm very happy that that's the case. Again, I don't make anything that I would have to register with Wizards of the Coast or whatever, but there's so many small creators that make a living off of making dice, making campaigns, making artwork, making all these different things. Like, people weren't even sure if you were commissioned to make somebody's D&D character, if you would have to submit that. So it was a lot of murkiness, but they finally took it back. But the statement they made was very much a corporate statement, in my opinion. I will not read it out because it is quite long. Okay. But a couple of the things that they went into is they said they made this, and it was leaked, by the way. So it's kind of was leaked, and then, so.
Okay. So it's a little drama.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it was leaked, and then emails were leaked, and then Hasbro was saying, don't say anything, don't respond to the backlash.
Yep.
So it was just a lot of drama. And on TikTok, I was trying to find certain creators that I trust and, like, report in the way that makes sense to me. Yeah. So, but I was reading this with my husband in bed, and I was like, oh, this is trying to be corporate, but not. Trying to be Wizards of the Coast, but not. So they were basically saying the reason that they did this was to prevent hateful and discriminatory products. They didn't want blockchains and NFTs to, like, become a thing, right?
Yeah.
So they said all that, and they even said, which, if you're in the D&D world or not, they said, however, it's clear from our reaction that we rolled a 1, like rolling a 1 on a d20 or whatever.
Which, what does that mean for
Basically,
outsiders like
yes.
me?
So rolling a 1 usually is the context that you rolled a 1 on a d20 and you got the worst possible situation.
Oh, okay,
now when you roll a nat 1, which is a natural 1, or a nat 20, nat 1, bad stuff happens to you depending on the game, and nat 20, that's a good thing. That's like good luck.
Okay.
So they rolled a 1. So they were trying.
They were trying to like be cute.
And again, I will link the response on there in the show notes. But
yeah,
it was, a lot of people were cringing at it. And I was reading at it, and they're like, "Oh, we were just trying to make sure that nobody was putting hateful or harmful stuff out there."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you were trying to make money. You're owned by Hasbro now. Again, I know not the entirety of the Wizards of the Coast team is trying to do this. This is a group of people who went to legal to try to see how they can make more money or how to go about this. It got leaked. I don't want hate going to Wizards of the Coast, but I do want love going to third parties now that they will not have this restriction on them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are laughing at one of the lines from it that I will read. Is that I'm sorry, it's just where is it? I'm just gotta find it. Okay, so second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost by making your voices heard, forced us to change our plans. Those people were only halfway right. They won, and so did we. And it's a little pathetic, in my opinion.
It's a little cheesy.
It's like they say that they always wanted to culminate like this environment and this organization and everything where it was a good like place to be, and they were trying to not be hateful, and these voices being heard. Like, we wanted that feedback all along. Okay, why did you say you wanted that feedback all along, but these got leaked and then you didn't respond for like a week. So where was our place to put feedback? So I'm glad that by the time that we started recording this, it's going to go into a way that it's not going to affect these small creators, third parties. I always recommend to buy from third parties if they can. I am not completely going to be pulling all my money from Wizards of the Coast. Unfortunately, my campaign does rely on D&D Beyond. I do want to go away from that in a sense, but we're in the middle of a campaign and everything, so I try not to use it, but again, I do want to pull away, and I don't want any hate to anybody who wants to go see the movie. Again, our voices were heard. The OGL, the Open Gaming License, is going to stay how it was. There's going to be revisions for NFTs, I believe, and certain things like that.
Okay.
Which, good. Hot take, fuck NFTs. I don't even think that's a hot take. That is a cold take, I think.
It's a cold take.
NFTs are down.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, no hate to anybody that wants to go see the movie, that wants to use D&D Beyond. I'm glad that our voices were heard. I'm glad that we kind of have this echo chamber in a sense with social media. Sometimes it really sucks. But again, I try to buy my dice from third parties, people that do resin printing and like resin 3D printing and resin dice and everything. And please, people who are kind of scared to come into community because of that, please feel free to come into the community. If you're listening to this and you're part of our Discord, please feel free to message me about it. I am a new D&D player and DM myself, but it is a great community. And unfortunately, we had this drama, but I'm glad that our voices were heard and we could do something about it. So
yeah,
basically, Wizards of the Coast needs to get back to its roots. It was made by men in the 80s, nerdy men in the 80s, and now it's owned by Hasbro, and it definitely feels like it. For audio listeners, we just sipped wine at the same time.
We just did a little sippy sip. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. It's a bit of drama and tea, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the thing is if you made a campaign and say you wanted to like sell it or something, you wanted to make money off it, because this is a gig economy now. This is a thing where you can do stuff on Etsy. Like, you couldn't use the term gelatinous cube, which is a monster that's in D&D.
Oh.
And there's going to be people out there that say, I'm going to use a different type of TTP RPG. I always say that wrong. Tabletop RPG.
Okay.
So there's other ones. There's Pathfinder. There's Call of Cthulhu. There's all these different things that aren't Wizards of the Coast based. I believe Pathfinder and Call of Cthulhu are not Wizards of the Coast based. But while you can switch to those kind of type of rules and monsters, it is a hard shift. But definitely, if you want to pull yourself away from Wizards of the Coast already and want to get into the tabletop RPG, definitely check out Pathfinder. Or Call of Cthulhu is really fun. There's a bunch of different ones. I would look on Roll20. I don't believe Roll20 is owned by Wizards of the Coast. That is, but they have all those resources. So, yeah, it's cool. Just, it's hard because it's D&D is kind of in a monopoly. I mean, if you talk about, even if say I was playing a Pathfinder game, I'm going to tell my friends I'm playing D&D.
D&D. Yeah, that makes sense.
And a lot of people don't even use the term Dungeon Master or DM anymore. They use GM because of a Game Master.
Yeah.
Because if they're playing Call of Cthulhu, they're not a Dungeon Master in a sense. So
yeah,
it
makes sense.
And some people just have a preference, but it's if I presented like Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, and D&D to you, it would look very similar to an outsider. So I'm glad our voices got heard internally, and we made it. People were canceling their subscription, so we monetarily kind of fucked them over and said, okay, if this is what you're going to do, you're not getting us money. So,
yeah, I mean, it also shows the power that the users hold, you know.
And I just want to say, as somebody who loves, and again, this means nothing to Flo. This is like me and Valorant last week. I'm just sitting here like, I know. They got cute butts. I know that.
Not wrong, though.
Not wrong. One of the things, Brennan Lee Mulligan. I love that man. He is an amazing GM. I think he's hilarious. He has told us that corporate greed is the worst. In like a bunch of his games, D&D or whatever games, corporate greed has always been like the villain. And so everybody's saying like, hey, Brennan Lee Mulligan told us that corporate greed is the villain, and you guys are just being the BBEG, which is big bad evil guy.
Yes.
So Brennan Lee Mulligan was getting us ready for this fight.
Yeah.
I love him. He'll never hear this. And if he ever does, I'll cry. But I love him, and he's great. And makes great campaigns. So, yes. I love it. You probably know his voice from a couple video games, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he does voice acting. He was on College Humor, everything like that. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. But anyway, that's my hot take. I know some people are going to be like, oh, who cares?
No, I think that's huge. I've been very interested in trying D&D or like, you know, whatever, for a while recently. I have not yet, but I do.
It's hard to get into.
It's good to know all this news.
And it's not like, it's not like a video game too, where you can just start playing. You have to like put effort into it, thought into it, have a group. Yeah, you have to have a group. And even there are apps.
I can't just start playing it.
Yeah, there are apps actually that like, or websites that help you find groups. And personally, I was able to find a really safe environment to try DMing and to try like being a character. And I love my character. and I would love to like run another campaign for people. I've done homebrew stuff. I've done D&D based stuff. I'm now doing one which is Spelljammer, which is very similar to the standard D&D, but there is space hamsters, and I am very excited to see one. I haven't seen one yet in my campaign. So,
ooh.
Yes. If anybody is wondering, I am a bard as my current character, which is just a flirty being, and that is me, who plays the flute, the actual flute, not like a pan flute, which is actually something I used to do. Well, everybody calls like a recorder or a pan flute a flute, but I'm playing a legit flute.
Like a sideways.
Yeah, sideways flute, which I did
brass. Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah, you did.
I have 2 of them. I need to like polish them and stuff, and I haven't played them in a long time, but you know what, COVID sucked for a lot of us.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, I play a bard. She is a astral elf, and I love her, and she's kind of bitchy. I love playing characters and acting. I used to act for like school plays and stuff, and I
feel like that's half the fun of this. Like, you're not you. I can be whoever.
My dream role to play in like a play, obviously not, I don't want to go Broadway or anything, is Abigail from The Crucible. If you guys don't know, that is a play about the Salem witch trials.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people in New England have to read it in their middle school eras. I grew up.
I went to Catholic school.
Oh, right. You guys can't have witches. Oh. Which is bad. Also, I'm playing a witch game tonight, so we'll talk about that soon.
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
But Crucible, Abigail, she is just a lying, manipulative bitch. And she's like a teenager, so I know it sounds bad, but she's like manipulating this whole town. It is based off of the Salem witch trials. It has real people's names in them, but it's hyperbolized for a play and everything. So I want to play a bitch, and I got to read her part in like school when you had to like read a play and whatever, and I loved her because I can play like the people pleaser and like the really nice doting mom and everything like that, but I want to play a bitch. I want to play a bitch without consequences.
That's the freedom of like acting. It's like I can play someone that's not me. I don't have to be typecasted as people like me.
And in D&D, I'm like a bitch. I'm just like, you know what?
Love it.
Fuck you. I'm gonna do what I want. But in my head, I'm like, is it okay? Is everybody okay with my answer?
Okay.
I'm that person that chooses like the nice options in games because I can't.
Yes.
I can't.
Because I'm like, I don't want people I don't want characters to hate me.
I know. I'm the same way.
I feel that.
Okay, so kind of hot take, which we can't talk too much upon because those spoilers, but also we haven't seen it.
Yes,
is The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. I can't wait to watch it. I remember. So to preface, I love Pedro Pascal.
Love is not the word for it. Obsession.
Look,
no, just kidding.
I mean, look, I think he's like so funny. All of his interviews are absolutely hysterical, and I just love them.
Have you seen the Lego minifigure one?
No, I haven't. Is that recent? Because if so, I haven't been up to the recent ones.
No, I'll find it, and if I can find it, I'll put it in the show notes. But basically, they were showing off a Lego minifigure of the Mandalorian, and they were in the room, and it was like the prototype or whatever, and Pedro Pascal took it, and everyone's like, where is it? Because it's like,
oh my god,
like the prototype, and he's just like, it's a dude of me, I want it, I took it.
That's so funny.
He is such a sweetheart. But anyway,
he seems like such a sweetheart. And so I had like a whole thing after Mando season 2. I had like a whole thing where I was like, oh my god, I love Pedro Pascal. And so I remember they started filming this show, and I was so excited. And I knew it was based off of a video game. I'd never played The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I've watched a handful of streamers like playing it on and off.
Yep.
But I've never like watched the whole thing in a whole. So I'm really excited to watch the show. I think it'll be really cool.
I have actually not watched it in full due to not wanting to be spoiled again, because
that too.
Yeah, I'd
it's
like
currently
choice
PlayStation
based.
only, right?
So The Last of Us Part 1, which is the
Yes.
first one, is coming to PC if it's not already on PC.
Okay.
PlayStation
I'll
is
have to look into it because I'd like to
releasing.
play it.
Yeah, I want to play it. I do know some things from like seeing clips and whatever, and I do kind of know the basis of it. I haven't seen the first scene in the video game, or we haven't seen the first episode yet, which released yesterday as of recording.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be Tuesday. So it would be on 2 days ago as of recording. And we will never come on here and spoil anything. I think we'll say what if we're liking the show, but we wouldn't ever spoil anything. But I know that it's gonna wreck me because I know the premise. So just because it's a parent-child type thing, I'm somebody that is very emotional in general. I mean, I cried at Encanto, which like,
yeah,
I cry at everything.
Me too.
I
will if it's a touch sad. I will cry.
Yeah,
or any kind of emotion.
So
I will cry.
Actually, again, I feel I'm always taking us on side tangents. Crying is a reaction that your body does when it has an overabundance of emotions. So you know how like when you're super angry and you cry out of frustration, like that, or happiness,
and then you have happy tears.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just something,
you have tears associated with like any kind of emotion.
Yeah. So when you have an overabundance of like a certain emotion, that's usually why you're crying. So that's what I'm telling myself.
Pisces for me.
See, I don't know what Capricorn means. I'm just over here.
I don't either. I only know my own stuff, which is I don't know if that's narcissistic or just lack of information on my part. But like,
I just know like the things on TikTok that are like,
I need excuses.
This is the different zodiac signs as Taylor Swift clips, and I'm like, okay.
And I was just watching one of those this morning.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. That's why I mentioned it. But like, that's all I know.
So funny. So it's okay.
But The Last of Us, I am very
I can't wait to watch it. I'm very excited, and it's coming out week by week on HBO Max, right?
Yes. And
so I'm excited.
I'm not only excited just for him. I know,
of course,
that the Last of Us team, Naughty Dog, who is the production of the game, is working with them. So the people who voice them have met with the people who are acting as them multiple times.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're very and the person that voiced Ellie is now going to be Ellie's mom. Now, again, this is not spoiler. I have not watched the show. This is just casting release information. So I know from a lot of people, like Naughty Dog has worked closely with this because there's a lot of game adaptations that just don't work.
Don't do it justice.
No, because it's a different type of medium.
Yeah, it is. So I totally understand it. I don't have experience because I don't know that I've watched any like shows based off video games. Like I definitely never watched The Witcher. Although I'd like to.
I like it.
It's good. Yeah.
I just also anything with Henry Cavill. I love that man.
See, he only does it for me in the Witcher wig.
You know, that's fair. It's not even, you know what? And I'm going to get some hate for this, and this is okay. This is hot takes. We can get hate. We can drop hate. We don't drop actual hate, but
no.
The Superman,
He's probably the least attractive character he's ever done.
Yeah. And you want to know the least attractive character he's ever done is Stardust. That is my comfort movie.
Searching it right now.
Okay, and he is in this like blonde wig, or he has his hair dyed blonde, and he's supposed to look like this preppy guy. And he's not a main character, like in the sense of casting. He is, but like he has maybe 10 minutes, not even, in the movie. And he's supposed to be like this preppy guy that you hate. And this has been my comfort movie for a long time. I love this movie. It has Charlie Cox in it, which is the guy who does Daredevil
Yep.
in the MCU now. It's coming to Disney Plus. It has like just amazing. It has Robert De Niro. It has all these amazing people. Just makes me so happy. I can't even.
Yeah.
And
100%.
one of my lovely friends, Guff, he loves Neil Gaiman as well. And we talked about it. And I was like, I messaged him one day after having a hard day. So I'm watching the movie. I'm telling him, like, I'm going to watch Stardust. Just one of those days. And I go, holy shit, that's Henry Cavill? And he's like, yeah, that's Henry Cavill. I'm like, how did I not know this? Because
I know.
I know it sounds silly, but if you know, you can see it. But without knowing,
Sometimes your brain's not thinking
and
about
at
it,
certain angles, it doesn't look like him. It's not supposed to look like him.
Yeah, of course.
He's, God. But I watched that movie recently. I was having a gloomy weather day, and I was like, you know, I'm going to watch Stardust. And it was,
There you go.
it was everything I needed. And I just laugh now
Good.
that I'm like, that's Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So,
That's so funny.
yes, but, sorry.
But yeah.
Side tangent.
It's okay. That's the whole thing, right?
Well, have you ever watched any of the Resident Evil movies?
No.
Okay. I was just trying to think
I'm
if
not
there's anything.
super cultured.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't
being
either.
completely honest.
I was a big baby, and that was like a horror movie, kind of, I guess, when I was a kid, when it first came out. So I never watched them. I'm just trying to think of anything that really like turned into a video game that you would, into a movie or show that you would watch.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably was.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people
either
are
way,
very happy with how this has turned out. I've heard, and like reports are that there is a certain scene from the beginning of the beginning of the video game and beginning of the show, that between a certain point of getting in a car and whatever, the end of getting out of the car, I won't say anything more, it is shot frame for frame, how fast the camera's going, the angles, the lightings, everything. And this is a very pivotal scene that sets off like the world building and like the characters, and it was shot scene for scene. So, I mean, frame by frame for the scene. So I am excited to see that. Maybe we'll play it when it comes to PC. We'll talk about it on stream if we ever do. But I'm hoping PlayStation releases more of its games to PC. I mean, that's how we both played Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. I want to play the next one, but again, until they release it to PC, we're kind of not able to. So, all right.
Someday.
Flo, do you want to get us started with your powder?
Oh, yes. So for powder, playing, watching, drinking, reading. We've added drinking this week. And I think moving forward, we're
over 21.
Drinking. We are over 21. But also
it could be water.
It could be any drink.
Yeah.
Today in particular. No, I feel like I should go in order.
No, go in order.
Playing. Still obsessed with Valorant. It's all I fucking play. I can't stop.
But what did you play on stream?
So I'm gonna get into it. So last week I played I just played Valorant most days, and then one day I played Bear and Breakfast, and then the other day I played Dead by Daylight with you.
Yes.
So this is what I did last week. And it was fun. Bear and Breakfast is a cutie little game. I'm a huge fan. It's very like cozy game. You're a bear and you're running bed and breakfast in the forest. It's for humans. It's so cute.
I haven't played it yet, and it's on my to play list.
It's cute. This was my first time playing it since like the summer, because like I was playing it a lot in the summer when it first came out. And then I just kind of stopped because of like school and stuff. But now that I'm back playing it, it's like, ooh, this is cute.
It's such a cute
It has
game.
really good music in it, and also like the art is so good in it. The bear that you play as, Hank, he has like the cutest little expressions. I love him.
I love simple art too. Like,
yeah, it's simple. It's not too much going on. You don't get confused. It's it's cute.
It's great how far we've come with like mocap and everything and being able to create very realistic characters. But there's
Mm.
something so nice about a simple game.
About a simple cartoon drawing.
Yeah, of like a bear just running a basically
It's
a
so
bed and
cute.
breakfast. I love it.
It's
I
so
gotta
cute.
read.
They like kind of memify him because like sometimes if he's like trying to like think of something, it'll have like the math equations all over like those memes.
I love
It's
it.
yeah, so it's really cute. But yeah, so that I've been playing Dead by Daylight, which I've only played a handful of times, always with you. It's fun though. It's like chaotic and I'm like, what is going on?
I was actually going to ask you to play yesterday and then your power went out and I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to watch TikToks.
Yeah, my power went out for like I think it was like 2 hours. It ended up going out, like just driving around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm playing. Again, more Valorant. I finally played on the new map.
Nice.
And I got an ace on the new map, which means I killed the entire team and won the round. So like little I was gonna say humble brag, but it's not even humble brag. I'm just bragging at this point.
If you want to see it, it's on your TikTok.
It is on my TikTok, which
girl, you're killing it.
In the show notes.
You're killing it.
I'm excited. I'm getting better at this game finally. But yeah, so that's it. What I'm playing. That's it for what I'm playing. Except this week, but if you want, you can talk about it because we'll be streaming with you anyways.
But what are you watching?
So watching, I am once again not watching anything. I've never watched things except TikTok. It's a problem. I don't sit and just like watch TV shows. So on my list is The Last of Us. I still want to watch Arcane. Otherwise, it's just TikToks. I did watch the Miley Cyrus video. You want to talk about that?
The flowers.
We don't have to get into it, but yeah, flowers. Really good music. I liked the music video.
It's cute.
I don't know. I thought it was cute. It was cool.
It's in my head
other
now.
than that, I know, me too. But anyway, that's it for what I'm watching. I'm really not watching anything
Is there
else.
any streamer that you want to like that you found recently that you want to say that you've been watching? Or is it just kind of the same old, same old?
It's same old, same old. I love my friends. Meru and Egg Rolls are some of my favorites to watch.
Yes. I think
Guff,
Meru, and you are like my favorites to watch. And the thing is, there's so many more, but we either stream at the same time or they stream while I'm working. Know. So I just want to say, System, oh my God, I love your streams and I hate that we stream at the same time and it's okay that we do, but I love you and I hope you know that I love your streams. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We'll watch Last of Us. You're gonna watch it for Daddy Pascal.
For Daddy Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's the cutest.
He is so cute.
I can't get into it anymore. I'll go off on a tangent just on how freaking cute I think he is.
What are you drinking?
What I'm drinking. So right now I have wine. Actually, I'm gonna top it.
She has a fancy glass. I do not have a fancy glass.
I have a fancy glass because I'm a fancy bitch.
We should get podcast glasses.
Oh my God, we should.
Yes.
Cheers. I got red wine. It's like a mixed blend from a local winery.
I know it's local, but it's also like...
I can say it. It's Newport Vineyards.
Yeah, it's local, but like Newport is such a... It's not even that local in my opinion, but like it's within
it's one of those places that's
3 hours
pretty well known.
Yeah.
It's within a couple of hours of me.
Well, it's like a fancy... it's a fancy place.
A lot of people know where Newport is. I think... I don't know if... Is Taylor Swift... No, her house isn't in Newport. It's in Rhode Island, but not Newport.
It's not in Newport, no.
Yeah, but
it's in New England.
Newport is pretty well known.
Yeah, so Newport is very fancy kind of place.
I think like Jay Leno has a home in Newport.
Probably. He has a house in like every city.
Yeah. So
old white man with money. Anyway. But Newport does have amazing wineries. Nice. I will say, like, they have a great winery over there.
I don't even know what else is there, to be honest. I just saw this and was like, oh, local, I'll grab it.
I mean,
just being completely honest with you.
As somebody who
I got to drink.
My mom's family grew up in Rhode Island, and I visited Rhode Island like monthly as a kid.
Yep.
And was local to it at a certain point. I've been to Newport twice, and it was with an ex for a date night, walking on the New, and it was a group date too, but like walking on the Newport, like beach walk or whatever. So
Yeah, the cliff walk.
cliff walk, yeah,
Yeah,
gorgeous,
that's very
gorgeous.
popular.
Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of one of those things that's like everyone's like, oh, I want to go to Newport, Rhode Island. It's like, nah, I'll stay in Providence. Like, I'm gonna go to the
Yeah,
Providence Mall.
there's more to do in Providence.
Oh yeah. So,
There
what are
is.
you reading?
Reading. I did not start reading it yet, but I'm gonna start reading Legends and Lattes. I just found my Kindle. It's charging back there as we speak
Yeah.
so that I can start reading this book. I'm so excited. It's one of those cozy fantasy books we were talking about last week. And I'm so excited to read it. I can't wait.
So excited. I started
It just
reading
seems
it.
so cute and like, I don't know.
It's
You know,
sapphic too,
I'm
which we love a
excited.
sapphic story.
We do.
So,
We
which
do.
I also had to Google a couple months ago because I was like, what does sapphic mean? And for
I know. I did
and
that the other
for
day.
anybody that doesn't know, sapphic means a woman loving woman relationship.
Yes.
Sapphic was a writer of woman loving woman relationships. A lot of people use it for feminine presenting relationships instead of just saying lesbian. But it's also kind of like a secret way to say it if you're not in a safe way. So, safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited. I've read the first chapter and we'll get into that.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Can't wait.
So
But
playing.
that's it. That's all I've got going on.
What am I playing? I am playing a witchy life story, which I started
Ooh.
after recording the first pod.
Yes.
And I love it. I will say my only small gripe with it is that it's not voice act. And that only matters because I stream it. So my throat after a while hurts from speaking all the lines. So I want people to tell me in the Discord, in the like comments, whatever. Tell me, do you expect a streamer to read out every single piece of dialogue from a kind of game that is mostly dialogue?
Good
I won't
question.
say this isn't a dating sim. I think there is a dating aspect to it. You can completely like sideline that. But do you expect them to read every single line?
Question, because that applies to Bear and Breakfast as well, because none of them talk the lines. I have to read them. But there aren't a ton. Like, a lot of times I'm just doing things. So.
Yeah. See, for a witchy life story, there is a lot of talking and like
dialogue.
story building, and I like it. But after the first time I played it, I was like, ugh. So there was definitely lines that I was like, I could like skip this quickly, like line. But let me know. I also know for like the visually impaired, it's nice to have those kind of spoken out. So that is one thing. But I am playing it. You play as a little witch who has to garden and make these potions, incense, and lotions, and all these different things for the local people. And you're building up them to kind of do this big festival kind of thing and help their town get back to where it is. And you're a witch that their family isn't very happy with you. So this is them kind of being like, haha, you go do this.
Oh, wow.
You have a familiar, which is a crow. And you do have the opportunity to make flirty comments. I don't know if there's like a dating end goal, but I do like that you completely, like, you don't have to with anybody.
Okay. That's
so there's
cute.
an option.
I like when it's an option.
Yeah. I am flirting with this very cute non-binary character, and I love them, and they play music. So I know I love them so much. So that's what I'm playing. If you want to watch me play it, I'll be playing it on Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes Wednesdays. But I will be playing Portal 2 co-op with Flo, like we talked before, on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Wednesday the 18th, January 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't talk. Let's blame it on what I am, I was going to say drinking, but we'll talk watching first. I'm still watching Bluey.
Love it.
I'm watching YouTube and Bluey right now. My life is slowly coming out of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So I need something that's short, cute, and I just need a minute of
Yes.
like something that's gonna make me smile. But it's still deep. Bluey is so deep, and there's just so many cute moments and like moments of thinking and how to deal with serious situations as a parent, as a child, as a human, I guess
Mm-hmm.
as a dog. I also love their like I really want to see a Vishla in there because that's what
Yeah, that would be
Sabrina
so
is, my
cute.
dog. But I love that certain breeds, like the nurses in the Bluey universe, are greyhounds because they're actually like the universal blood donor for dogs, I guess.
Okay.
And like there's oil rig dogs, and then there's like the dad bandit in Bluey's family is an archaeologist because they dig bones. And I'm just like, it's so cute. I
I
love it.
love it. It's like simple, but like
Yeah, but
detailed.
they also like looked into research. Like, who knows that
Oh
greyhounds are
yeah.
like the universal blood donor? Like, I didn't know that.
So
I
cute.
just know
I
that
didn't
because of the
either.
Bluey subreddit that I am part of
Yeah.
now. So,
I think my
um,
brother has a stuffy of is Bingo like the little sibling?
yeah, the little sibling bingo.
Yeah, and
Bingo.
it looks like Pablo because
Oh, I
Pablo's a red
love
healer as
Pablo.
well.
I didn't know Pablo was a red
He's a
healer.
red healer mix because
Gotcha.
he's a lot bigger than the healers.
Yeah.
But he has like the little freckles and
See,
he's cute.
Sabrina's boyfriend, which is like her best friend since
Yes.
childhood, is a blue healer. And we can't really say blue healer in the house because
She's like,
yeah, if we say his name, which is Alfie, then
oh,
she will perk up. She's not in the room. That's why I
aw,
could say it. She'll perk up and like go to the door because she thinks she's going to see him. So,
so
but what's
cute.
funny is there was a dog with that name in the show in one episode, and it was Robert Irvine.
Oh.
Stephen, sorry, Irvin? It's Stephen Irwin. Steve
Steve
Irwin's.
Irwin?
Yeah, it was his son.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, so I mean, it's an
cute.
Australian production, so
Yeah, that's
I,
nice. I
yeah.
like that.
So when we were
Aw.
playing that episode, she kept perking up because she heard the name, even though it wasn't spoke
Aw.
by us. And we're like, that's why we
She knows.
call it her boyfriend. So I'm
Yeah.
watching Bluey. I'm gonna be watching Last of Us soon and a bunch of other shows. But until the
Yes.
chaos dies down, I'm gonna be bopping to Bluey because
Bluey's a good vibe. I love
it's
that.
a good
Good for
vibe.
you.
And if you check out our TikTok, our first and only TikTok as of now is
Yes.
which Bluey character am I?
Yeah.
So what I'm drinking is a Twisted Merlot. It is a 2017
Ooh.
California Merlot.
A red wine moment for both of us.
It is wine that was in my basement. So,
Love it.
yeah. So cheers. Oh, cool. Not cheers.
Cheers.
Me.
Sorry, I
Cheers.
sipped too early. I didn't mean to.
So,
Love it.
what I am reading, like we've talked about before, is Legends and Lattes.
Yeah.
It is a great book so far. I've only read the prologue and the first chapter, but I really
Okay.
like how it feels like fantasy. As somebody who's played D&D, it does kind of pull from D&D type fantasy, like
Mm-hmm.
expectations of orcs and this and that.
Okay.
But it's very easy to read. Like, as somebody that just got into D&D, like, there is really no... that isn't a barrier. Like, you're
Okay.
going in there and you're like, okay, cool. I really like it. It's really cute so far. I'm excited to see where it goes. I got recommended on it by TikTok, so
Yep, me too.
I'm really excited. We're going to be reading it, and if we have any exclusive hotties join us for our Patreon, we'll be doing that for our book club.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what I'm reading. And we'll just quickly touch on the Patreon. The Patreon is patreon.com/hotxnudespod. And for $1 a month, you get exclusive roles and channels in our Discord, as well as ad-free episodes. And for $3 a month, you get a extra episode monthly, ad-free episodes, exclusive and even more exclusive roles in the Discord and certain channels, as well as part of our monthly book club. So you could be reading stuff with us, suggest the books, stuff like that. So that is our Patreon. We'll have links in the show notes, but also at the end we'll have it on the screen for any video watchers on YouTube with our socials. So yeah, Flo.
Yes.
I am ready for your Reddit story.
For my Reddit story? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Give me that internet story.
Okay, here we go. So, this is actually a relationship advice story.
Ooh.
So I want to play video games with my boyfriend, but I always get too anxious. My boyfriend, 19M, and I, 18F, have been together for around 8 months now. We're having a wonderful time together this far, but one thing I still find hard is playing video games with him. I'm a casual gamer, and I really only like to play comfy games like Minecraft or Cooking Mama and some rhythm games here and there. I'm also a bit of an overachiever and a perfectionist. My boyfriend, on the other hand, he's a little more of a laid back type, and he loves to play video games. He knows a lot of video games I don't, so I take great joy when he tells me all about the games he plays. Naturally, he'd also want to play some of these games with me. Now, the problem here is that I get terrible anxiety whenever we play some together. Once we agreed that we'd play a harder game instead of the usual Minecraft we always do, he guided me through the tutorial and everything, but I think that despite his good intentions, I just kept getting more nervous. He's pretty good at this game too, to add to my anxiety. I wanted to be able to keep up with him, but I was really confused with all the movements and controls and menus that all felt really foreign to me. I was panicking when the enemies came, and I was fumbling with the controls because I wasn't used to it. He tried to coach me on how to kill the enemies, but the panic was too much, and I ended up dying. Excuse me. The experience was so bad for me that I got anxiety poops, which I never gotten except for situations like these. It's already happened before. This would be the second time. I already talked about it with him, and he's been really nothing but sweet and supportive, though I really want to get better at handling my game-related anxiety on my own so I could hopefully surprise him. Either way, I want to be able to play video games with him and share in the things he loves. I'm wondering if there's anything I can do to help my anxiety. Are there any games that a beginner like me can play to work towards some harder games? Any advice would be appreciated. Thank you. So,
Aww.
I thought that was kind of cute and relatable because I mean, you know this. I only started playing video games like a year and a half, maybe like almost 2 years ago now. I started playing with Keith. I mean, I've played video games on and off like my whole life, but
Yeah, you
I
played
really
Minecraft when we met.
Yeah. So I've played Minecraft a little bit. I've played a little bit of GTA in the past. Like I played like the Barbie games, you know,
Yes.
like when I was little. I loved them.
They were great.
But otherwise, I've never I never got into COD or like anything like that. And I know, you know, those were like the cool games to play when we were like high school, college age. I never got into the games because like it would stress me out. Sometimes I would play with Keith, and Keith is my husband, by the way. I would play and he'd like be saying communications to me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. So I totally understand where this person's coming from. It's really tricky. And I'm like, I totally get it.
What was the game she said that they were playing? Was it just like more at high stakes Minecraft?
It doesn't say. It just says we agreed that we'd play a harder game instead of the usual Minecraft. So
Gotcha.
I'm not sure exactly which game it was.
I hope that they're able to communicate, and I hope she can communicate that. As somebody who was very much a cozy gamer for a long time, like even though I said like I played Morrowind, I played Oblivion, like as a kid, society pushed me a lot more into that cozy game, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I am a cozy bitch. Give me my Switch, a heated blanket, and a little place to sit and watch the rain with my hot cocoa. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
But I can see how it can get really frustrating and struggling. Like, I get that anxiousness. I've done that with my husband in the last year. We started playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and I I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not good at aim. I'm sorry, I'm not good at this. And it's like, you
Yeah.
want to help and you feel like you're dragging them back.
Yep.
And like, you only
We kind
get
of
better
touched
with
on this last week
practice.
a little bit.
Yeah. You only get better at practice. And I recommend looking up whatever type your game you're looking into, like FPS. So say you're looking into playing FPS.
Yep.
Look up games that are good intro FPS play games.
Yes.
Borderlands, I've heard, is a great way to get into it.
Borderlands is a really good one. So we just recently started playing Borderlands, just like on and off. And that's a good one because it's not player versus player.
Yes.
You're against like a story, pretty much. But it still has the feel of like an FPS.
Yeah. And that's
so
what I've been doing with Tiny Tina's Wonderland, because it is a Borderlands type game. Yes. And while it is D&D, harken back to the hot takes, it is actually way just more a Borderlands game with like some aspects. It's very cute. I love it.
I've heard this.
I love it. We need to start playing it again. It's one of those things where we're like, we're going to play this today. And then you forget after making dinner. So yeah, I definitely recommend looking up like intro to this type of game. And
I recommend that honestly for anything, because I felt the same way playing Valorant. And honestly, sometimes I do, because Keith is still a much higher level than me. I'm still very much not great at the game. I'm not bad. I'm not as bad as like I used to be. I've improved a ton, but it still does stress me out sometimes to play with him, and I feel like I'm not as good. But
he's had years. I'm learning and years of practice.
Exactly.
Maybe
you gotta
not
really
at
think
Valorant.
about it like that. Yeah, but at first-person shooters, that I literally started playing Fortnite a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now.
You do very well.
And then started playing Valorant a year ago. It takes practice. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, it takes practice. My husband's like, it took me so long to be good at anything in COD, and I'm still not great.
They were like 12 years old. They would be in the same position as we are.
Yes. So again, give yourself grace. I know it's hard. I'm even telling Flo, I'm like, I don't want to play Valorant because I don't want to mess up your team. And she's like,
and we do this to each other. Yeah, I know.
So I know
this is how I feel about DBD. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sit over here.
Give yourself grace. Look up kind of intro games. If it makes you feel better, like find some tutorials or like on YouTube, or see if there's any tutorials in the game. You're going to be okay. I'm sorry. I completely understand that anxiousness, and maybe interest him in playing a co-op cozy game.
Yes.
I know 100%, he's like, we don't want to play more Minecraft, being like, okay, well, if I'm going to try your side, why don't you try mine? Harvest Moon has a co-op option. Stardew Valley.
Yep, Stardew Valley. That was a huge one I played with Keith. That one was a lot of fun.
I played that with my husband like a month after we started dating. We had a farm and everything. So definitely just communication is key. That's something that I'm going to be saying for a lot of these Reddit stories. Communication is key, and give yourself grace. Games are hard.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no requirement to be good at video games.
Yeah.
They're just for fun. I know you want to be, and if you're a perfectionist, that's totally understandable. I totally get it.
Oh, I get it. And Cooking Mama being a perfectionist, I just want to say, love Cooking Mama. Also, I bet you have like gold in everything, and I give you so much credit because I know how hard Cooking Mama is. So, just want to say that if they ever hear it. All right, I think we're going to head off to our break, and then we'll come back with my story. So,
see you in a little bit.
See you in a bit. Welcome back. We're back. And I have a story for us. Ooh. So it's Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
And the username is GTA_ Am I the Asshole Mother. Now, again, I'm only reading this out because I love that username, and we'll see why. Am I the asshole for asking my sister to replace my son's video game that she sold without telling me? I'm stressed and I don't know what to do. I'll keep this concise as possible, but if more info is needed, I will answer questions in the comments. I am a 44 female, mother of 4, Joe 16 male, John 15 male, Jackie 13 male, and Janice 11 female. Sorry. So Jackie and Janice are female. My husband Jake, 48 male, and I are making a comfortable living. Our children don't go without, but they are thankful for what they do have. Jake, who is the 48-year-old male husband, is into console games, which also our kids enjoy. Joe and John, who is 16 and 15-year-old male, have consoles in the room. They each received a PS4 for Christmas, and John was excited to buy some new games with his Christmas money. We do allow them to play games like GTA, but limit their time, and they understand very well that these are just games not to be emulated. My sister, Tina, 40 female, has 2 kids, Mike, 15 male, and Molly, 14 female. She is a single mom and isn't home often due to work, so sometimes my niece and nephew took advantage. For example, Mike was grounded over Christmas break for sneaking beer into the house, and Molly was grounded for being caught having sex with her boyfriend last week. Because of this, my retired mom became their after-school babysitter. This began after Molly was caught last week. Ever since, Tina has gone into overdrive looking for something to blame for their behavior. Here's the situation. John loaned, then again, John is the 16-year-old or 15-year-old male son, loaned a few games to Mike, Tina's kid, 15-year-old male. Tina found them while snooping through her kids' rooms and became furious. She decided to take all their consoles and games when they were at school, and sold everything, including John's games. Mike called me up in a panic 2 days ago and told me what she did. John texted Mike about the games that night before, but he didn't know what to tell him because he had already told Tina that they weren't all his games because he didn't, but she didn't care, and they were rubbish. I immediately told Mike that it wasn't his fault and I would handle this. I called my sister Tina that night when I knew she would be home. I told her that I know she sold all of the games in Mike's room and asked her to pay back for the ones that were John. She told me that children shouldn't be playing such filth, and wasn't giving us a cent. I told her that John bought them with his money, and I don't care how she punishes her kids, but she's not punishing mine. She began crying and accused me of calling her a bad mother, yelling at me to go fuck myself, and then she handed the phone to our mom, who scolded me and told me kids shouldn't be playing those games in the first place because my niece and nephew probably picked their attitudes up from those video games. I snapped that my kids respect me and I would never sell their personal property. I wanted the money for my son's games and nothing else. She said, "Grow up, Gina, you're not a single mom," and hung up on me. I told Jake all about this, and he agrees that Tina should have offered to replace the games, but he thinks that I'm an asshole for asking when she's a single mom and doesn't make much money. Am I the asshole for expecting her to replace my son's video games?
I'm on the mom's side that is like, can you pay me back for those games because they weren't yours to throw out?
Yeah.
Personally. Because, I mean, every parent has the right to raise their kids the way they want. Yes. I don't think the mom who sold the games, I think she needs to be liable for the things that weren't her son's that she sold.
Yes. I feel for this mom. I also want to give her props
I do
for her husband and her knowing GTA is not a kid, like a game to be taken lightly and not to be emulated. I thought that was great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna go into Tina in a sense for like being grounded for being caught with her boyfriend, and
completely agree.
that's just,
it felt unnecessary.
Yeah,
it kind of had nothing to do with.
I can see why like she was saying that because the mom got brought up of like who was picking up the phone being like, grow up, you're not a single mom.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think she's the asshole, but I don't think she should be expecting those games to be replaced at this point. I think Tina is just finding a way to kind of cope with the fact that she can't be around her kids, and she wants an excuse. I mean, that's what we do as humans. We try to find somebody to blame or an excuse for when things happen that we don't want to happen. So I definitely would, I don't know. She's not the asshole, the mom writing this post. I don't think Tina's an asshole, but I think she should.
I don't think Tina's an asshole either.
And I do like how she just like stuck up for the kid, Mike. Like Mike called her. Again, I also want to preface, the internet lies. This could be a completely fake story.
Of course.
But if it isn't, Mike calling her up, the kid calling her up and being like, I don't know what to do, because they asked about the games. So the top comment was not the asshole. Mm-hmm. If she's a single mom and doesn't make much money, then she shouldn't have sold the things she knew weren't hers to sell. You shouldn't have to pay. You shouldn't have to pay for something she did. It was an accident. It's an act of volition, and she can't claim ignorance. Her son told her. That said, it sounds like your chance of getting the money back is poor. She sounds awful. Which I don't want to say she sounds awful.
No, I don't think she sounds awful either.
No, I'm just reading the comment.
But I do understand. Yeah, of course. But I do understand that at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. The OP, the original poster, responded, I don't care about the money at this point, and it's the fact that she doesn't seem remorseful. I know she's had it tough, and I try to help when I can, but this is a little extreme. Mm-hmm. So, again, the OP's it's not the money, it's you sold my kids'
It's like
games.
the principle of
It's the principle of it.
It's the principle.
If you are a Bob's Burgers fan, you will understand.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I don't think that person's the asshole. Again, I don't send hate towards Tina. Again, all these are fake names. In the subreddit, they know to use fake names. So, yeah, I just feel bad for... I feel bad for the kids. In the sense, like, one of them wanted to play games and all that other stuff. I don't know. I just feel bad for that mom.
Yeah.
But I also love GTA Am I the Asshole Mom was like a perfect throwaway name for it. So, all right. You want to get into our fuck, marry, kills?
Sounds good. We are both going with Dead by Daylight characters. However, I'll be doing the killers.
Yep.
And Noodles will be doing survivors.
Correct.
Okay. So I've picked 3 killers from this list.
Okay.
You might not be surprised by the ones I've chosen.
I know one's absolutely going to be there. If it's not, I will chug this whole bottle of wine, which is what is left in my cup.
Concerning. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So here are my 3. Mm-hmm. Ghostface.
Okay, I'm good then.
Trickster.
Okay.
And the artist.
Oh.
Artist is a little spicy, if you ask me. It's kind of a tricky one.
It's hard because I'm trying to decide. on how much I hate going up against them and how much it just physically. I gotta go physically because if I talk about how much I hate going up against them,
you're gonna just kill them all.
Yeah. I could go into a whole thing about it. All right. So I think okay. So I'm going to it was Ghostface, Trickster, and
the artist.
And the artist. I am going I'm going to fuck Ghostface. Ghostface. I can't speak.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck Ghostface. I'm going to marry the artist and kill Trickster.
Same answers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ghostface. Seems like a good fuck.
Yeah.
Just
I agree. Look at those TikToks.
I know. And I will say, I either get super toxic Ghostface or I get super,
wicked,
sweet,
goofy, nice
super,
ones.
Yeah. And his skins are just, and whatever.
Yeah,
so I'm going to
true.
fuck Ghostface. I'm going to marry the artist because I've actually read the artist's backstory, which is an original character to the game.
Yeah, it's an original character, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. Now,
yeah,
if you put me up against her, I know how to deal with her, but I can't stand how many crows she sends out. So any Dead by Daylight players. I mean, I think Flo's heard me being like, I hate this.
Yeah, I remember.
So... artist, I'm gonna marry her. I like her backstory. I think we could have a great marriage. And you know what? I want to see what those arms do. And then I'm gonna kill Trickster. I get it. He's hot. I get it.
He's wicked hot, but he's like
hot.
A punk ass.
He's one
of those
ass.
Douchey guys that I'm just like,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, maybe a makeout session in the back, but he's not a fucker or marry. He's not. So I'm gonna have to kill you, Trickster. Also, you're way too fast in the game. Way too fast in the game. So
yeah,
I know our friend Mary likes main him or Legion, so which is fair, but Trickster, I'm gonna have to kill you. So that's the same for you.
I had the same exact answers, same exact reasons, and everything.
Okay, well, I'm gonna send you in. I'm gonna send you an image. It's in.
Sounds good.
It's in our Discord. And it's our survivors, because I know that you don't know them. So these are base survivors. So we have Nia, Meg, and Dwight.
Okay.
Now, these are their base skins. I will say they do have a lot cuter skins.
Okay. Now, would you like me to go based off of just what they look like alone? Or do you want to give me a little quick rundown of who they are? Very quick.
I don't even...
one sentence.
Honestly, I don't know.
Is there lore here? Or
there's lore. I don't know it. So just go on look.
So I'm just going to go based on what they look like. Okay. Yeah. So you've got Nia, Meg, and Dwight here. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to fuck Dwight.
Yep.
I don't know. He looks like a cute, nerdy type that I'd be into.
That's why I picked him.
I'm going to go ahead and marry Nia because that's the only one I've been playing as.
Yep.
And I feel like she's pretty dependable. I like it. I have no idea who Meg is. I'm sorry, Meg, but I'm going to have to kill you.
That's the same for me. Okay.
We are way too on the same page.
I know. But I have a different reasoning. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Dwight, I'm gonna fuck the nerdy guy. Okay, I'm already married to the sweet, nerdy, lovable, amazing man. I mean, what? I'm already married to the nerdy man. Okay, so I'm gonna fuck Dwight. Right. Yeah. I'm gonna marry Nia because Nia was actually my main first. So.
Okay.
The nerdy man just walked in.
There he
is. So. Nia was my main before I started maining Michaela. I didn't put Michaela in this because I wanted to do base game. Because Michaela is also, part of the DLC.
She has an obvious answer.
Yeah, I love her. So Nia, I love if anybody knows, I love her like spray paint graffiti outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And Meg. It's not only looks, Meg. It's the fact that every time I'm with a base game Meg, a basic skin Meg, you never help us out. I'm looking straight into the camera right now because I swear to God, every time I am with a Meg, or a Meg with this, like a base game Meg, or a Meg with the stupid mask or whatever, they never help me out. So I'm going to kill Meg. Because you know what? The killer's probably going to kill them first because they don't help out.
Oh, sheesh.
So,
okay. Well,
while it's slightly different reasonings, yes, I'm going to...
We've got the same answers.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I just have more resentment towards Meg. That's all.
Understandable.
But
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll actually learn more about them.
I should too. I know Michaela's backstory, but that's because I bought her, so I was like, I should read her backstory, which is really cool. And I have read on stream. It is long. They do put a lot of backstory. Yeah, I remember that. They put a lot of backstory into their characters, which I appreciate. Cool. So
I love it.
Yeah. So
we're on agreement both this
I know, it's crazy. Yeah. So
I love it.
We're going to do our quick little streamer of the week. Somebody we recommend that you check out. Yes. They'll be in the show notes. And Flo, why don't you go with our streamer of the week?
So this week's streamer of the week is my friend WillowVitch, which is spelled Willow, WillowVVitch. She is so cute. I love her. She does cosplays all the time. She just like loves cosplaying. She does a lot of Valorant characters. She's done Leah from Stardew. She does like Disney characters. She's the cutest. I love watching her streams. I love hanging out on her streams. She's like a variety streamer like me. She plays like Valorant. She plays Stardew. She plays Overwatch. I think she's also played Amnesia, which she's going to be posting on her YouTube channel. She's the best, and I highly recommend watching her. Yeah, always. She's so good.
She's so cute, and I'm also in her Discord, and she does voice acting sometimes. And Willow, I love you. I love you. You're so cute. She's so cute. So definitely recommend WillowVitch. Again, WillowVVitch, but it's WillowVitch. It's just
WillowVitch.
I mean,
I do sometimes say WillowVVitch just for fun. It sounds cute.
I love that. So yeah, that is our podcast today, guys. Again, it's a lot of fun, a lot of chaos.
I love this.
I know. I know. I feel back, so I'm like, we should like try to keep it under an hour, but you're so interesting to talk to.
It's
Flo.
Oh no, you.
Hot take, Flo is the best to talk to.
Hot take, Noodles is the cutest. Obsessed.
So, a lot of our feedback was it's nice to hear you guys talk together, and honestly, this is how we talk. Other than having
just us.
A slight outline, like we don't have a script, but just like a slight outline. No. This is how we talk. It might be a little censored, but just because
only a touch,
just a touch. We kind of
say a lot of words I shouldn't say on here.
We say a lot more on track here than we do other times. We usually go way off track. So you can check us out on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube at HotXNudesPod. You can also support us on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/HotXNudesPod. $1 there will get you ad-free episodes as well as exclusive Discord roles and channels. $3 a month, you will get that as well as part of our book club and an extra episode a month. So check that out as well. Email us at hotxnudespod@gmail.com if you have any stories you want us to read or anything that you want to suggest to us, segments, anything like that. And yeah, that is us. So Flo, anything you want to say before we go?
No, just want to say thank you for hanging out with us again, and I hope to see you guys very soon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys around the internet sometime soon. So,
see you next Tuesday.
bye.
Bye.